I have every week.
Cool. I appreciate that.
Every week. All right, so we got an avid listener.
We do. I don't know if you remember the first one or second one. It was kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, and then when I adjusted to my music, it was...
He blew out his
Yeah,
speakers.
he blew out his speaker. Yeah, he's one of those. Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We did start, unfortunately, so sorry to catch you guys off guard. But hey, I just want to say thank you guys to everyone that's kind of been listening, to our avid, listeners, the ones that are listening every week, or the ones that call us out for not posting a podcast every week. So thank you guys. But today we have Thomas. We got a family friend. He's I've always kind of wanted to pick his brain because he just does so much. Whether it's solar, whether it's windows, roofing, you name it. So, actually, if you want to kind of keep it going, I have something. Something just popped
Okay,
in
yeah,
mind.
one of those times.
Yeah, one of those things.
So I just met Thomas. What are you doing?
No, just
Okay. I met Thomas. I haven't met him before. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
If you want to get a little bit closer. There you go. Doing well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Ed has told me a little bit about yourself, where you work, what you do, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Have you ever been in a podcast before?
I have not, no.
It's your first one?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, now you can put it on your resume. I know I'm putting it on my resume for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, podcast guy.
I just thought that, since he's into, just in the field you're in, this is like a perfect intro for you. So, if it wants to go. Do you know where this comes from?
Tim the Toolman Taylor. There we go.
Bro, improvements, man. So, again, I was kind of going, looking at my calendar, and I saw that it said Thomas. I was like, you know what? I got to find an intro song for him. And I was like, It's the first thing I thought of, man.
That works.
Yeah, man. So, one thing I've always wanted to ask you, man. I think it's really hard when working for a Red Bull, just going up and whether I don't know if you go up, is it like cold calling or just like, do they know you're coming or there's sometimes where they have no idea, you're just kind of going door to door?
No, so there's pre-generated appointments. Some are from cold calls, some are from people calling in. But majority of the time they should be expecting us at a certain time.
Oh, damn. Okay. And that's something they've kind of done online and to kind of fill out like a form to get, whether it's windows or what?
Yeah, sometimes. I have ads running for people to fill out forms, schedule appointments. But the company, they generate a lot of the leads from the phones.
Oh, damn. Okay. But so you have your own thing too that's doing their own leads, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. That's kind of how did that come about? Or
so you can generate your own appointments and it just fills your day a little bit easier because sometimes you don't have a full day of appointments. So when you generate your own, you can kind of make your own schedule.
Oh, okay. What's the difference between your leads and the company leads when it comes to incentive-wise?
Incentive-wise, we can be a little bit more lenient with price when the leads get generated with me.
Oh.
Just because there's cost of overhead when the company generates a lead, they have to pay people, to call an hourly rate, and then, if they earn any type of bonus for generating an appointment that sells.
Yeah, okay. Makes total sense, especially when it comes to big business.
Yeah.
They definitely have more overhead, like you said. You got anything, man?
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. Who do you work for?
I work for Select Home Improvements.
And what do they do, or what do you guys do actually?
They provide energy upgrades for homes like windows, sliding glass doors, heating and air replacement, roofing, patio covers. Basically, products that will help save homeowners on energy costs and improving the value of their homes.
Okay, and this is just a Fresno-based area company, or are they nationwide?
Our corporate office is down in Anaheim. We have a location in San Diego, Anaheim, my office in Fresno, a Santa Rosa office, a Stockton office, and they just opened up an Arizona office as well.
Awesome.
Really kind of like the hot zones.
Awesome.
What would I guess my question is, how is your office just your office, or is it a company office?
It's a satellite office.
Oh, no way. So
I just manage the Fresno territory.
No way. Okay, damn. See, I'm starting to learn a little bit more about you. I thought it was okay. So when I sent you a message on IG and whatnot, you had said that you were a 1099 employee. So I thought maybe your office would be like a home office that we were talking about. So no, this is an office that the company provides.
A physical office.
Oh, damn.
Physical office, yes.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's kind of sick. Okay. So are you required to like travel every day to that office?
Not every day to the office, no. Generally, most days I go just because I like being on top of projects and kind of knowing what's going on. But it's not a requirement to show up every day, no.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, so in that office, are you in charge of people, or is there somebody else that in that office that is in charge of employees that go to the office, or do you even have employees there? Or do you just do sales? Sorry,
Yeah, that's okay. I'm in charge of the sales team.
you're in charge of the sales team.
I do help with production to make jobs get pushed through, but I'm not per se the production's boss.
Just sales. How many people on the sales team?
We have 5.
5.
Okay. When you say production, what does production entail? What do they do?
So when someone comes out to get you an estimate and you want to do the work, they have to write a work order up, and the work order stating we're doing these windows or this heating and air system. They hand that work order to the project manager, production, and production knows exactly what to order to get the product delivered and done well.
Okay, so that company, it never goes through like a third party. Everything gets done with you guys. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought maybe there was a middleman somewhere somehow, but
Every once in a while, if there's like a very specific job that our crew doesn't know exactly how to do, yeah, we'll sub out a little bit of work, but it's very few and far between.
oh, okay. Okay. So what are the kind of the, I know we kind of talked a little bit about it, but what are the most common things that people kind of reach out to you guys for? Is it Windows?
I would say 70% of the production's Windows.
Oh, damn. And is it because they're all like, they're just, have you seen double pane windows get replaced into, really?
That's 80% of our business.
No way. I thought it would be single pane going into double pane. So are there newer technology when it comes to double pane now?
Yeah, so just because you have a double pane window doesn't mean it's fulfilling its full, I guess, life cycle of a double pane window. Majority of windows out there, they aren't built for the Central Valley and the heat.
Oh.
So a lot of the times we can go up to double pane windows and the framing is starting to discolor, starting to crack and peel. And that's just primarily due to the sun. A lot of times you'll see condensation inside of windows, that little bit of moisture or the fog. That's just from seals busting. Seals bust because of the flex from the heat. So, I mean, your average window here in the Central Valley, I mean, we can replace windows that are 5 or 7 years old.
Damn. Holy
yeah,
shit.
but you take that window into a cooler climate, it could last you 20 years. So, yeah, I'm not here to knock off, box stores, but those box stores will always be in business because they constantly have to be replaced.
Oh, fuck.
When it comes to paint, when it comes to windows, it's a revolving door.
So at the end of the day, you get what you pay for.
Correct.
Ah, fuck. So true. I just painted a house too, and I'm just like, oh, bro, it took me like 7, but we're like, oh, we just need 3 buckets. We need to go back for 3 more. I'm like, oh, we need 1 more. Fuck, bro, we should have just gotten the one where you don't have to
Prime?
keep. Yeah, dude. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, even when it comes to paint, you can Google how long does exterior paint last on stucco or wood in the Central Valley. It'll tell you 5 to 7 years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I, kind of doing what I've been doing now as a pest control dude. I'm kind of paying attention to houses and stuff. And you go to the, the nicer houses, and when you're in the fucking, you've gone to a different top tier of houses, bro, their stucco is not the stucco that you see here, like in Madera, dude. Their stucco is like, you can't get web stuck on it. It's like a shiny type of paint. And I'm like, yo, what is on this?
It's called Tex Coat.
Oh, damn. Okay. So there's dude, I was just like,
Or
what?
it could be a good possibility of it being Tex Coat, something that we do as well.
Okay. So it's specifically what's the difference for Tex Coat and the regular stucco?
So Tex Coat, we'll consider it a permanent paint. Okay, it's not like we're physically adding more texture. Sometimes we do on areas that had like stucco damage on it, but it's going to look like a brand new paint job. There's no really extra texture being put on, but it's equipped to cool the house down in the summer and prevent water damage.
I could definitely tell that. Yeah, because I would spray on the side of the house, dude. It would just fall down, dude. It wouldn't even stick like regular stucco. So I was like, oh wow. I was just I needed to find out what that was, man. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, you can't really tell, like from street.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But when I walk up to a house that's text coated on a hot day, I could feel the heat being pushed off the house.
That is so true.
And
Feel radiate.
if you rub your hand on it, stucco, it's naturally dry. And sometimes, depending on how old the paint is or the stucco is, you'll get stuff on your hands.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
I felt that before.
If you go to a home that's text coat, it's going to feel like this
Yeah, dude.
semi-gloss.
Okay,
Yeah,
like a
that's
semi-gloss
very-
paint
very
feeling.
smooth.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks very shiny, and usually, like you were saying, you go to a stucco house, like some of the rocks fall off or whatever. Every time I'm dewebbing, falls off. I did this Texode home, dude, nothing. I was like, whoa. And I'm telling you, the webs like slide right off. And I was like, I need to know what this is. So, okay, I'm glad learning something, man, because
Definitely.
that shit was wild. But
You probably see it a little bit more than you think. The irony in paint and text coat is the Lowe's supplier. Have you ever driven by Lowe's or even Home Depot and saw them painting the walls?
Like them painting their own walls? Nah, I have not.
no.
It's because Lowe's uses text coat on their buildings.
Ah. They don't even use their own product.
Imagine how many thousands, probably millions of dollars it would cost to constantly having to paint every single store.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It's just like a drug dealer, dude. You don't use your own supply, right?
That's true.
So it's just like Lowe's is fucking. Not that I'm saying they're drug dealers, but they're smart, man. One way to go about it.
So Home Improvements does windows, Texco, right?
yes.
What are the other services that you guys offer?
Heating and air replacement. We do roof replacement. We do custom patios, aluminum patios. Here and there, we'll do attic insulation.
Oh,
Just
cool.
not as common.
Would you guys don't mess with plumbing? Any type of plumbing? No. Just HVAC is kind of in that. I feel like it's kind of in that world. So
Well, the plumbing that has to do with HVAC, yeah, with the condensation line.
yeah, okay.
But not like we're not going to come and fix your sink.
Okay. No, that's cool. So, what made you kind of jump into this field, dude? Because what we were talking about earlier, well, that you had mentioned was you being a 1099 employee. What exactly does that mean for some people that don't know?
So a 1099 employee means that you're not necessarily an hourly paid employee. It's kind of you make what you sell. Okay, so if you decide not to work all week, all month, you don't make anything. But yeah, it's for the gist of it is you go out and you make the money that you want to make.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you're kind of betting on yourself.
Correct.
Okay. So how?
There's no safety net.
Yeah. So how was making that decision, dude? Because I mean, you made this decision before you had kids, right? So you were kind of already when the kids came along, you knew what you were doing. But before that, like, what made you kind of, hey, I want to do this? Like, what enticed you in it?
So I was working down the street at Georgia Pacific Color Box, and you could make a really good living there. We had a coworker quit and started selling solar. I saw him maybe 6 months later driving a brand new M3.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, that dude was not driving that, a brand new one. And so I started asking him about it. And the money you could make in a weekend could be the same you make in 2 weeks or a month
Oh, wow.
working at a
At a solar company? Is this
solar
or where you're at?
Sales.
In sales. Okay.
In sales.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a very meticulous numbers guy. Okay, you can calculate all the hours that you're working to get your check, right? But there's only so many hours that you can work. There is a maximum. Even if you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there is a limit, right? With sales, there's no limit.
It's true.
So we worked a lot at Georgia Pacific, but on the weekends, when I had days off, I would go out with him. And it took a while to kind of get the rhythm going. But once I had, and I wasn't even selling, I was just setting appointments. But once I set like 2 or 3 appointments and one sold and getting that first like commission check, I'm like, okay, this took maybe 3 hours on a Saturday and I made what I make in 2 weeks, 40 hours a week.
So was that first check the fucking kind of like?
Oh, it
shit.
wasn't very much, man. It was like $800 or $900.
But still,
but for 3 hours of work.
exactly. That's what I mean. You have to.
That's when it clicked. That's when it made sense of
There's potential here.
there is potential there. Okay.
And I only had that one sale and I left.
So before this, though, did you have any type of experience, like
In sales?
Yeah, in sales.
No, not directly. I mean, I worked at Valley Feed. I don't know if you would consider that retail sales.
Okay,
But no
we'd have to talk to people once in a while.
direct sales.
Not like in the field of what you do now.
Correct.
Right. Oh, I was like,
Sorry.
Boo.
Yeah, we got
touchdown. I remember, guys, Thursday night.
Thursday night football.
Thursday night
Broncos
football.
13-0. Woo! Anyways, okay, so yeah, you had no experience. You kind of just went into this like, hey, let's give it a try, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw what you liked. Where did that lead?
Did the guy that you went to with on weekends?
Mm-hmm.
Did he take you under his wing longer, or was it just those weekends?
No, it was there's appointment setting and then there's closers. You need both. So you need people knocking on doors to set the appointment, and then you need closers to come and do the sale. So he was the closer, I was the appointment setter.
Oh, okay. So you guys were working hand in hand.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But no, we after that I started building a team, so then I can train other people, and you can make money off of those sales as well. Up until I learned enough to able to go out and close deals.
Okay, I don't want to be rude, but you know when you said right now you started doing the whole thing.
Don't say it.
Sounds like
Don't
a
say
pyramid
it.
scheme, dude.
Yeah.
Is that okay? But that's not what it is, right? Because obviously you need a team to be able to kind of to branch out there, right?
Correct.
Okay, so when you did, you did the whole being the opening guy, right? Setting appointments or whatever. When did you finally? You said you created your team, but when did you feel comfortable to be like, hey, I'm gonna make this jump to, hey, I'm all in.
When I quit Georgia Pacific.
Oh fuck! So how did that? So
So you saw your check and you said, "I'm quitting."
Yeah.
And how did you give him a 2-week notice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
at least he's that kind of guy.
He's a good guy. So you saw the potential and you decided, hey, I'm just gonna take this 100% of the time, right?
Oh yeah. I was kind of sold because of what he was saying, but closers make different money than the appointment setters.
Okay, so now question: who's paying the appointment setters? Is it still that company that you guys were going through the solar?
Correct.
Okay,
So
okay.
whoever purchases, the money gets paid to the company. Company pays the closer. Company pays the appointment setter.
Got it. Okay. So when did you finally move to being a closer?
A couple months in, maybe.
Okay, and how did it feel getting that first? I'm sure you gotten a bunch of appointments. I'm sure you gotten a couple no's or hey, we'll think about it. But how was it getting that first? Like, hey, yeah, we're in.
It was a little wild. The first actual appointment that I ran was in Spanish,
Oh shit!
and I don't speak Spanish.
Threw you off, huh?
But I had a translator,
Ooh.
so that was the only way that was going to work.
Okay.
I didn't close a whole lot of deals before I got to this company. It was just kind of slowing down teams. In sales, it's very hard to keep people. So when the team starts quitting, it gets a little slim on appointments.
So, sorry, did you want to say?
No, it's coming together now. I think my mind was at Home Improvement Solutions. Is that right? No, Select Home Improvements. But you're talking about
Solar.
your solar
When I
time.
first got into tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while to wrap my head around that.
Okay. So finally, when you did, were there any moments during that period where you're just like, fuck, I don't know. Like you said, you weren't getting it, you weren't closing anything. Were there points where you wanted to throw the towel in and?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We knocked from 3 p.m. to maybe pretty much when it gets dark, because you don't want people knocking on your doors when it's dark. I remember at first knocking on doors and, interrupting people's dinner. I mean, man, I'm that guy. But another team from Stockton or somewhere from another satellite office came to train us, and they just kind of teach you how to get tough skin. Like, if I'm eating dinner with my family and someone knocks on the door, I might not go get it.
Yeah.
Right? They chose to answer the door, so I'm at least going to give it my pitch.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we are helping people, and it's up to them if they want to accept the help or not. You could slam the door on me. That's okay. But you got to give it a whack.
Sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned slamming the door. Has that happened?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, dude. So people are just kind of rude as fuck.
They can be, which, I get. There's certain neighborhoods that get knocked every single day.
Oh.
So they'll tell me, you're the 10th guy today. You're the 50th guy this week to knock on my door. And I just got to roll with it.
Yeah.
How do you, Thomas, how do you reset from one door being slammed, like they slam the door on you, reset, and then go to the neighbors?
So one thing that you got to keep in mind, and I try to implement with my team, is you're one more no closer to a yes. Right? So if you knock 100 doors that day, and you know that there's going to be one person that says yes, you just got to get closer to that yes.
That's a good way of thinking of it.
It's a big mental game. But you just got to stay positive, because there'll be days to where nobody answered the door. And then you got to get up, motivate yourself to go again. Nobody answered, or you got yelled at, screamed at. Big mental game.
It's really hard, dude. It's really hard. I kind of did the same thing working at Red Bull and going up to, Walmart managers that, don't want to give you the light of day. And it's hard, dude. It's really hard. But once you get that yes, you finally get that yes. You're like, fuck, it makes you want to go get that other yes, dude.
So think of your Ponzi scheme thing that you tried.
Pyramid scheme. What's a Ponzi?
Pyramid scheme. Okay, at Red Bull, did you have a manager or supervisor?
Yes.
Did he have a manager or supervisor?
Yep.
And then it goes up the list to corporate, right?
They didn't do shit, but yeah, it goes to the list. Yeah.
Okay. You had, I don't know, how many drivers did you have on your crew?
13.
Okay. So 13 drivers, think of it as...
Fuck.
It's now that he's painting it that way.
13 appointment setters. And then you have people loading the trucks,
Yeah.
call it the closers, and then corporate. So corporate, when you go sell the Red Bull, corporate gets paid, and then you get a weekly check.
Yeah, see, but you're definitely right. You're hitting the money on the head here. It was just a lot easier for us because when I'm going to talk to Walmart managers, hey, our shit's on ad. So it's an incentive like, hey, our shit's already on sale. Put it up so you can sell more of it. Because at the end of the day, you're getting a kickback. And that was what would help me. But I'm trying to wrap my head around how you would do this shit because I'm like, dude, these guys are, you guys are walking in with like no type of, what do you look for? Are you looking for shitty homes? Are you looking for homes that do you go online and start searching homes? Oh, hey, this house was built in 1949. There's bound to be something wrong with this house.
We can go to homes as early as 5 years. I've done a handful of homes in Fresno that were less than 5 years old, and the stucco's just falling apart, cracks, paint chipping, and they see the value in doing a permanent solution. They know they're going to live in this house for many years to come. They don't want to have to constantly keep painting it. So those homes, about 5 years old, but generally most of our market is homes that are 15 years or older.
Oh, okay. And that's kind of the broad idea that I was kind of asking because I'm like, when it comes to like just looking at a house at a curb, I feel like you can't tell whether it needs that TLC. There are some homes that you can tell, but
I feel Thomas could tell.
Yeah. You don't want to judge the house based on how it's looked. You can go to a pretty rough house on the exterior. You walk in and it's very nice, very, very clean.
I have seen that happen. Yep.
And then vice versa. It's super nice on the outside and then not so much on the inside.
Very true.
But you also can't see everything just from walking up to the front door. This house, it faces north, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most damage on stucco and your windows are going to be on the south and on the west.
Why? Shade?
The sun.
Moisture?
The sun.
Oh, rising. Setting.
The sun moves.
Oh, fuck. You're
that
right.
way.
So on the north side, you might have moisture issues because the sun doesn't see this much. So sometimes you might be able to see stuff over here. But sometimes you'll walk up to a house and say it's for text coat. I'm like, man, this house looks flawless. Why did they set this appointment? We go to the back and it's just destroyed.
Fuck.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter if the house is 10, 15 years old or 40 years old. You don't know the condition of it until you walk it.
Shit. That's awesome. You got anything?
How did you go from solar? What was the initial thing that you went from solar to where you are now? What was the contact, or did you see an opening somewhere?
Great question. When I interviewed for this company, the ad said home energy solutions. I thought it meant solar. So when I got to the interview, he's like, no, we don't do solar. That's the one thing that we don't do.
Oh, shit.
But we do 5 or 6 other products. And so my thought process was, when I go to a door selling solar, that's all I have is solar.
Oh,
You
fuck.
either want it, you have it, or you don't want it. Okay. But I can knock the same door and have 5 or 6 different things. And the likeliness of you wanting or needing one of those is a bit higher than I already have solar, I don't want it, or
So when you go up to it, I guess my thing is, you already said that usually you already have a preset appointment of what they're looking for. But if you go up, you're going up to a door or a customer or a potential customer, and they're like, oh, hey, are you running down a list of everything that you guys do? Like, oh, hey, do you have roof problems? No. Oh, what about your windows? Or what? Are you that guy, or how do you go about that?
I don't like if I'm knocking a door or on the phone.
I mean, either. Like, explain to me your process. How do you go about it if it's a cold call?
So I don't make cold calls. If I'm on the phone with someone, they've probably gone on one of my ads and they said what product they're interested in.
Oh, so they already know what service they're looking for.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
When people are cold calling, they'll just go down the list. Hey, how are your windows? Oh, my windows are good. Okay, how's your paint? When's the last time you painted? Paint's good. How's your heating and air system? Just down the list.
Oh, okay.
If they don't get hung up on by
By
By then.
time, yeah.
that must be tough, dude. That must be
Oh, I've cold called for a while when COVID happened.
Oh shit.
I was kind of taking a test on the real estate, like wholesaling, and I worked with this wholesaler, and man, that is a ruthless job, cold calling.
And what exactly are you doing? Are you trying to see if the house is for sale?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Damn, that must be pretty rough.
Yeah, and wholesaling, not to get too deep into it, you're buying a house undervalued. So if someone's like, yeah, I do want to sell my house, but I want to sell it for $700,000, a wholesaler's not going to buy
It's
it.
not going to buy it. Yeah, okay.
So I mean, what would entice a customer to buy it then, or to sell? Sorry.
Hardships.
So
Deaths
these
in the family, divorces,
Oh, so like, hey, they can't wait to be put up on the market or some shit like that.
or say they're renting a house and they've had a horrible history of tenants to where they're just tired of being a landlord and they just want to get rid of it.
Shut the fuck up. That's actually really smart. You can just
very
avoid
common.
all the laws when it comes to worrying about the tenants or whatever, right?
I don't believe you can just skip over the laws.
No. I meant like it's not your problem anymore if you sold the house. Now it belongs to whoever bought the wholesaler. It's their problem now. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just thinking all of these are cold calls.
For the wholesaling on real estate, that
It's
was
all
straight
cold
cold calls. Yeah.
So it's just you either hit it or you don't. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That's tough.
I did that for a couple of months, and then it was during COVID, so it was
Is it because it's all public record? You can just get the information from somewhere and get the phone number from the owner.
There's lists you could buy of people's names and numbers. I mean, sometimes I'm calling renters we don't know. You just have a name and a number, and sometimes you get the address, and you just hit dial.
It's crazy because there's times where I get text messages, hey, are you interested about your son? I'm like, how the did you get my info, dude?
You're on a list.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's fucking wild.
But also, you can get people's phone numbers rather easily.
Yeah, no. The ad that's true, but I want to know who's selling my info. I saw a video on TikTok. Instead of putting your first name on info now, I write where I'm putting that info in. So if like Walmart's asking for my info, I don't put Eduardo anymore. I put Walmart. So if somebody ends up calling me or texting me, because I've already had it happen, where I just talked to Vanya about this. somebody had recently reached out to me. I got a text and it said the company that I put down. Oh, O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's. And I got a text message. Hey, O'Reilly's. I'm like, O'Reilly sold my fucking info, dude.
Oh, so you know who's selling your information?
Yeah, I saw a video
gotcha.
on TikTok and I was just like, God damn it, dude. And I'm just like, that's how they make money. Our info is,
It's sold.
yeah. And it's really valuable information, dude, because and you can sell it as many times as you want. Like, hey, here's the list once. Here's it again. Here's it again. Like,
Yep.
so yeah, we're getting fucked, guys. Don't quit trying to get 10, 15% off. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
So why don't you guys sell solar?
Solar is a longer process. It can take months. Typically, we want our projects done within about 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
That's a fast turnaround, dude. Holy shit. I don't, that's like a 45-day for like start to finish?
For some jobs, yeah.
Wow, dude.
There's certain jobs I can get done next week.
Whoa.
There's just multiple factors. Like the windows, they're going to take 5 weeks because they're custom made.
Right.
But if you need paint, you can probably get started within the next week or two once the materials arrive. And yeah, get it done.
Damn, that's actually pretty cool. When you guys go through Windows, you guys, is it Anilin?
Anlin Windows, yeah. Out of Clovis.
Yeah, I hear really good shit about them, dude. I've gotten to go to their factory and I'm just like, damn, you can see different sizes. I'm like, there's no way there's been this many sizes of windows. I'm like,
Oh, you walked in their factory?
Yeah, I had to service them for a safety clean.
Okay.
And you just see so many different shit. And I was just like, dude, there's no way. I had told the guy, I think his name was Xander or some shit. He's like, oh, bro, no, these are all custom, dude. He's like, this isn't Home Depot, bro. Like, no, somebody put a measurement and they're waiting for these windows. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, dude, because they have like either the smallest windows, circular windows, diamond windows. I'm like, yo, dude, seriously? And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, these are all custom made. Like, you're not waiting for it like fucking Home Depot. I was like, oh, shit, it's kind of cool. So, yeah, I had a little background on how that works. But, yeah, shit's wild, man. Just kind of seeing how that worked. Pretty wild.
It's pretty, there's quite a bit of technology that goes into making something that seems so simple to us.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. When it comes to Windows, I don't know. I feel like we take it for granted at times. But, I mean, then again, I've been like my parents before they had double pane windows. I was like, I noticed a big difference. I'm like, okay, I'm happy that I have my double pane windows at home. But then now you're telling me there's probably higher techs. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm my parents now. I have the fucking shitty version now, dude.
Yeah, I still have one window right there. Single panel.
Single pane?
Yep. That one right there. Window's here.
Oh,
I just need to get it on. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But I could tell the difference as soon as all these windows came out. Complete night and day. It was a lot cooler.
Oh, yeah, especially with the size of a window like this.
Super big. Yeah, I have a big window in the front. So, yeah, it heats up the house a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What do you enjoy about your job, Thomas, besides pay? What about it do you enjoy?
Meeting new people, meeting new different personalities, different walks of life. It's just very interesting. Keeps every day it's a new adventure, you know. But I would say meeting new people.
Meeting new people is you said it's different every day. How different is it every day? Is it somewhat repetitive of like what you do, but different in different houses? Is that what's different?
Yeah. So it's very repetitive on what we're doing. We're driving to an appointment, doing what we do inside of appointment. I should say it's different people every day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Different
gotcha.
personalities, different needs and wants, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So how far are you going? Because I remember when I worked at Red Bull, is that the same job you're at? When I used to see you down on the highway in Red Bull?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So you're still going as far as like Visalia times or Tulare?
Down south, we'll go to Tulare. We'll go to Corcoran. We'll go to Porterville, Farmersville. God. Up north, we'll go to Modesto, Turlock, Atwater.
Damn, okay.
Los Banos.
So when it comes to your job, you're not the only sales guy, right?
No.
Okay. So how are those leads like divided up between all you guys? Are you guys fighting for them?
Yes and no. Majority of the time, there's enough leads for everybody. And then once you get the guys going in there's certain areas, you just kind of ideally keep them close to that area that they're in.
So you guys, okay.
We don't want to send a guy to Tulare for 10 o'clock and then 12 o'clock Turlock.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys, how do you know where to keep them? Like, oh, hey, he lives around this area, so let's try to keep him there. Or
Sometimes I'm probably the northest rep, if that's a word.
yeah.
Everyone's typically Fresno, Clovis. So if there's leads that are up north, typically I'll get them first just because I'm a little bit closer.
Oh, okay.
It's a longer drive for the rest of the guys. But it's just kind of divvied up, and there's no real process. It's just, hey, take a lead.
Okay. So I kind of want to just talk about your accomplishments, man. So just me outside looking in, you know, you got that that nice truck, you know, sitting outside. You have 2 gray trash cans sitting outside. And not just one, dude. This dude's got 2 gray trash cans.
2.
It's like $8 a month.
And then,
big baller.
And then you got, you know, the nice house, man. So I mean, obviously we can. I could see the fruits of your labor, man. You know, and again, this is kudos, man, because in the time we're in, dude, it's good shit, man. So you've also kind of gotten those. I wouldn't say trophies, but plaques from your company.
Oh, the crystals?
Yes, crystals, bro. See the crystals, dude.
Is that those like award crystal things? Ah. Okay.
So talk a little bit about that, because obviously that's a representation of everything you've done, not only for the company but for yourself and the achievements that you've done. So you want to talk a little bit into that?
Yeah. So the crystals I have, they're a little bit mix of annual awards, and then there's mixes of top rep of the month award. Annual ones will be for like, you know, $1 million to 1.5 million in sales a year. The monthly ones, it could be 100 to 250,000 a month. And then I think there was like Rookie of the Year award my first year that I was there.
Damn. Okay. Again, I mean, shit, it's pretty badass. When you're talking about like kind of employee of the month or top sales earner, how many employees are you beating out for that?
About 20.
Damn.
No, that's a lot,
dude. And I mean, you guys are all kind of fighting for that apple, you know, trying to get to the very top, and it's just like, fuck, for you to kind of walk out with that crystal, man, that's badass.
Oh yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, but I like focusing on the team, because I'm not just trying to get every single sale. You know, my team's got to eat too. So it's a mix of wanting to be at the top and also making sure my team's at the top.
Okay, that's
cool.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Not in the field. Oh wait, in the fields, not in the stands. Is that how you say it?
Never heard that one.
I don't know.
Oh, it's like, you know, a coach is supposed to be out there with you, not just coaching or whatever. Anyways, it's something like that. Someone's
like
gonna say,
like being a boss and being a leader.
yeah. 2 different things, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've gotten to see both what it's like to have a really good boss and like, okay, yeah, cool. You manage everything really well, but are you really out there with us? And then there's other people where like, hey, they don't mind getting down and dirty. I'm like, hey, dude, let's finish this job, you know?
Yep.
So it's kind of cool to kind of know that you're that guy, man. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about all the awards and stuff that they offer and stuff that they. So what's the culture like there? It sounds like from 30,000 feet, it sounds like a cool culture. Oh, sorry.
Well, define exactly what you're wanting. As far as like being a 1099, you know, these guys aren't required to show up to work every single day at a physical office. So they have a lot of freedom.
Okay.
I'm not micromanaging them. If I talk to one during the day, maybe he has questions for me or I have a quick question for him, but I'm not down their throats every day of why didn't you close that deal or what happened here. It's very, there's a lot of freedom with it.
Okay.
So guys don't have a lot of, like grudges or stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of beef or stuff like that going on.
Is there a lot of camaraderie though? Like you guys get along, like you guys hang out after work, or are you guys just kind of doing your own thing?
Amongst the 5 of us, we're all kind of in different stages of life. You know, there's people who are just getting married with no kids, and I have a sales rep who's 60 years old, has grandkids.
Oh, shit.
So, you know, every once in a while we'll get together. But no, we're just kind of all doing our family thing.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. I didn't think it. Damn, you threw me off with the 6-year-old. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that one's
fairly new.
No, he's been with us for a couple of years. It's a difficult thing about being a sales manager is learning everybody's personality and how to manage them. This guy, he's been selling longer than I've been alive. And so if I have to critique him on something, I'm going to look a certain way. So I have to come across like it's his idea. And then I got guys that are younger than me that haven't seen the experience. So you got to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, that must be tough. Being able to critique somebody that's older than you. I mean, I think we've all been in that situation. I mean, you do it now, talking to people that are older than you.
I can relate a lot to what Thomas is saying. Yeah.
The guy's older than my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man.
It's like you said, it's handling and different personalities and how to get your point across. Like you said, I mean, you gave a great example of like the way you handle this guy by telling him kind of like it's his idea. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool that you find ways of how to get the job done.
Because when I'm 60, I'm probably not going to like it if someone my age now is telling me a certain way.
Yeah.
So I got to respect it and kind of teach him a little bit differently than the rest.
Is there things that you learn from him as well? I mean, I know he's under you, he's one of your team members, but are there things that he has taught you?
I wouldn't say I've learned like one particular item off the top of my head, but yeah, I learn more when I teach. Because he'll say, "Oh, well, I say it like this," or "This is how I kind of introduce this product or this item," and you kind of feed off each other. When he was selling in the 90s, that's us. It's more like old school selling, right?
Oh, okay.
And we're not as old school anymore. So he'll learn more modern selling, and I'll learn some of the tricks, old school ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I learn a lot more when I teach.
So have you you were saying that these guys are kind of like under you because you're head.
I don't like to consider them under me, but
I know what you mean. Sorry, I don't know what other word to use. But did you have any other experience going into this, like being like in a manager role, or is this no? So this is kind of like you're learning as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That was the biggest step of learning, is learning how to manage each individual person, because they're not like an employee. They can leave whenever they want, and it's like, yeah, we have an HR department. I can't just go crazy, but learning to retain people, that was a big hurdle, because I've never had a manager role or supervisor role before.
So what you mean retain is retaining employees? Mm-hmm. Was that hard at first? It's just a big turnaround?
It's a big turnaround, and that really doesn't have so much to do with management. It's just, some people kind of get it. Some people, not the best fit.
Yeah, some people are built for sales, and I mean, we're talking about 1099 employees. You don't know if you're going to be getting a check, or
they got to feed their family.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's not working out, just like we were talking earlier, there are times where, hey, you wanted to throw the towel in. Unfortunately, hey, they probably had to throw it in because they had that mortgage payment to pay, or they got that car note. So sales isn't for everyone, man. It really isn't.
Yeah, I don't think I've really had to fire anybody. They'll just quit on their own.
Oh, damn. They usually kind of just they get it on their own.
Are there some people that you talk about retention, that you try to help them out in a way and they just still don't get it?
Usually that happens up front, especially if I have, like the gentleman I was just referring to. He's got his set of ways of how he sells. Very different from this type of sales structure. Usually if they aren't catching on, it'll happen early on. And if they're not retaining our information or how we do things, they'll kind of fade out before it gets too deep. But once someone is really 6 months to a year in, they're pretty dialed in. Like, we have our weekly sales trainings, and it's just new things that come up with them, because I may have spoken to a few thousand people over the years, but every week there's something new. Every week, and as life progresses, now we have to deal things with election, this protests, stuff like that. That comes up in homes. And so this will be new to me, maybe this guy's done it before.
And you guys kind of like bounce each other, like ideas off each other, and like how to go around this obstacle. Like,
Yeah, what did you say when this homeowner said this?
oh, okay.
Can you give us an example of like how, like you said, election? Is there an example that you could give?
Some people are a little nervous about what's going to happen, who's going to be elected. And they can be fearful of their money, which they so should be, if this person gets in or if this person gets in. It's everything about the election. It's one side kind of hates the other. The world's going to end if this person's in. The world's going to end if this person's in. But yeah, we will have people say they will wait till the election is over.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's literally, wow. Holy crap. So now, say somebody brings up the election, or just in general, like somebody that's running, do you tend to show your colors and be like, oh yeah, I agree, or oh no, I hate that person, or whatever? Or do you try to say as biased as possible?
Just out of respect, I'd try to stay biased. But if they're like really like bringing it up in conversation, I might say a little something, but not generally. I'm not trying to poison the well.
I always just end up kissing their ass, whether it's fucking Trump or Kamala. I'm just, oh yeah, for sure. Like,
that's what I'll do.
yeah, I'll just kiss their ass, dude. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it doesn't bother me. I get to go home and I
Yeah.
still have my opinion and my thoughts,
Yeah.
I'm just kissing their ass. Every time I do that, I'm just like, it made their day, made them happy. Got a smile out of them.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I'll just kind of oh yeah, absolutely. You're right.
You're right. That gas price is darn that guy, Yeah, it's always something, man. It's always something.
Yeah, you just got to roll with it.
What do you think would be the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome, but you got a yes? Like, because at the end of the day, you can corner them. Like, hey, well, is this the only thing that's stopping you from making this purchase? Like, hey, so if I solve this issue, which could be like, hey, they can't afford it because it's $3,000 above their budget. Like, you tell them, hey, is this the only thing that's stopping you from making this? Because if I work with you to be able to get it down this much, or we get a payment plan going on, whatever, walk us through like something that you've had to overcome where you finally got a yes.
It could be as general as the payment. Luckily we have a good amount of different types of options from short term to long term. Sometimes it's a matter of, I really want to do this, but I have my car payment. I have 3 more payments on my car. Then once that's paid off, then I can afford something like this. Okay, well, we could find a plan that starts payments in 3 months after we're done. So sometimes it's just little things like that.
So it's just kind of digging for a little bit more info to see like, hey, what the real problem is. Like, hey, what's stopping you from making this purchase?
Yeah, you just want to do it respectfully. If you do it too aggressively, they'll push back.
Rubs them on the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah, we're not here to take food off your table.
Because at the end of the day, you're a partner. You're trying to help them out, right?
And if they truly want to do an upgrade, we're going to try to make it as affordable, as easy to get the upgrade done. A lot of the time, homeowners are nervous to purchase just because sometimes they've never done an upgrade before, or they're just right at the finish line. They don't want to cross over quite yet just because of nerves.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to comfort them, reassure them that, hey, everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Some homeowners just don't know how to purchase sometimes.
It's true. It's scary, dude. One thing I kind of want to talk about is the one time that you kind of held my hand buying solar, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is scary as fuck, dude, because you get so many people coming, knocking on your door. And it's like, dude, I've given them the light of day because I know how hard it is to kind of, just go up to talk to somebody, dude. So it's just like, okay, lay it on me, dude. I know nothing about solar. Let me know. Not one person that was selling door to door explained solar like you did, man.
Yeah, and
So-
they probably took a lot longer.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like, and there was a time where it's just like, hey, dude, we were having dinner and I'm just like, you know what? Like you said, I decided to open the door. I really wanted to know about more about solar because, dude, my bill was fucking getting high.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that I kind of asked those questions. I know you were kind of, you dipped your toes into the solar world and you knew a little bit about it. So I was just like, okay, cool, great. Let me finally ask the questions that I want. And dude, you answered everything perfectly because at the end of the day, you hear so many horrific stories about people getting their true up bill at the end of the year. And I'm like, fuck, okay, hey, dude, this is what I don't want. How do we avert this? You walk me down, like, hey, dude, give me a year of all your previous PG&E bills. Let's go over your numbers. You rounded everything up. You did the numbers, and like, dude, this is how many panels you need. And after all that, I was like, you know what? I still doubted myself. I was like, give me 2 extra panels. Just because the rate was that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a smaller home. I don't waste that. I'm very conscious when it comes to using power. And dude, that was honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I can't believe I ever doubted myself to get solar. You know what I mean?
The biggest thing in scenarios like that is trust.
Yeah, dude. And it's really hard to find. There's no way you're going to trust somebody that just knocked up at your door randomly. You know what I mean? So
now think about trusting them over a cold call.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's so true. One thing I wanted to talk about though was not only did you kind of help me through that situation, but it's okay. I tried getting my parents. I told them, how easy it was and how much I'm saving. Dude, they don't believe me. I pull up the app and I show them, dude. I was like negative like $400 that PG&E owed me, bro. And I was just like, I was telling everybody, I'm like, hey, dude, you should really consider switching. I don't know what their energy, bill usage is, but I was just like, hey, it's worth giving it a shot, right? And people, dude, my parents should be able to trust me. I have the info, and they're still like so hesitant to not pull the trigger. You know what I mean? And it's their own blood is like, dude, I'm not trying to leech off you. I get nothing out of this. I'm trying to help you guys. And it's like, so if I can't, make them change, like, dude, what's a guy at the door going to be able to do? You know what I mean?
I refer to this quite often is there's not enough pain. And what I mean by that is maybe their PG&E is getting high, but it's not too high yet. Yeah. They're comfortable enough to pay it, but not uncomfortable enough to change.
But yeah, okay, that's a good thing.
I like that because that's me right now on getting like solar.
Oh yeah, you've asked.
Yeah, that's me. And the way you put it is like, I'm fine. Because they come all the time and they're like, what's your payment? And I'm like, oh, this much. I'm like, it's only high during the summer. And they're like, yeah, but, and I'm always trying to back up, but you have a great point. I'm comfortable right now and I could do it for now.
But dude, PG&E is all we've known. It's all my parents ever known.
Yeah.
So it's like for them to switch to something completely different, it's scary, dude.
Yeah.
They've heard horror stories on like the true up bill. Like, oh yeah, tu tío quien sabe qué ended up paying $2,000 at the end of the year.
And that's misinformation on these people. Like
that's true.
It's stories of people getting misinformation because Tom has explained it to you very well, and you haven't run into that problem.
Yeah, but then again, the first thing you told me was, hey, don't go putting on your AC at 63 all the time or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you want to live the way you used to live. These numbers are based on what you did last year, and it was very true, man. I really, it was a big help. It's not something to replace PG. Well, I mean, it is, but not to the point where it's like, oh, hey, I have solar, I'm gonna leave the lights on all the time, or I'm gonna go set it to 63. Like, no. Still live by your means, and exactly what you were doing before. It's solar now. You're paying a little bit cheaper, man. Oh, one thing I kind of wanted to go about too. You explained the incentive for the rebate that you get. So you get a kickback after what was it from the government, from the state?
As a tax incentive, yeah.
Yes. And the company I went through, it's like, hey, dude, that money that you get back, if you put it back into your payment, you'll only owe this much and your rate goes down this much. You wouldn't have explained that, dude. I would have just kept that money and just kind of, just, oh, hey, I got money back and that,
spend it somewhere else.
Yeah. But he was like, hey, put it back into the payment. It'll lower this much. And I'm like, dude, again, it's just all the info that you get from somebody that you know and you trust. Just goes a long way.
You're buying your solar panels, right?
I don't know, Thomas. Am I buying my solar panels?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard that they also lease them, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Which, I mean, are you able to give advice on this?
Yeah. What would you like to know?
No, I mean,
I think there's a lot of people that are still iffy when it comes to solar. So I think this is a good topic.
Yeah. So what's is it whatever best fits you? Would you say that? Maybe I shouldn't lead the question. I'm sorry.
No, you're going down the right avenue.
Am I going the right? Whatever best fits you.
It's different from home to home. When I did solar, all we offered was purchasing. Okay, but I've had to learn the side of leasing, so that way when someone said I want to lease instead, I knew something to say. Okay, purchasing, I believe you could still qualify for a tax incentive. Leasing, it's, from what I've heard, it could be a better route for someone who doesn't pay as much taxes, meaning someone who's retired, like on Social Security.
That's what I've heard.
Or
Older people.
Yeah, they can't get that tax benefit. So on a lease, the solar provider gets the tax benefit, and it's possible to get a lower payment on a lease. But I don't do solar every day, so I can't
Yeah,
attest to that 100%. But excuse me, that's what I've heard. If you can qualify for the tax incentive, it's pretty nice, or you can keep your payment lower. But like my grandmother leased, her payment's a flat rate every month. She didn't have to worry about the taxes. And yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah, so every time that I kind of ran into that, I would ask too, like before. And it was always the people that don't, like, are older. They don't plan on being in the house too long, or like, hey, I only see myself in like this house for like 10 years or whatever. And I'm like, oh, leasing is a better option. Because usually when you're financing, it's what, 15, 20 years?
You can go up to 30.
30.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
30.
Holy shit, the term of a whole house?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
It's typically the life of the product. What's the product designed to last for?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. So solar, I didn't know solar panels last that long, to be honest with you. That 20 years maybe max? I didn't even ask questions on mine. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, but you know what? The company that I've seen, Enphase, dude,
Mhm.
I see them in all the nicer houses. So I'm like, damn, dude. Like, it's like, I don't see, I do see Tesla from time to time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, dude, I'm seeing Enphase in all these really nice houses in
top of the line.
Sunnyside. Yeah, dude, I was like, holy shit. And comes with an app. I'm not a spokesman. I'm not getting anything out of this. But I mean,
Yeah.
I really do like the investment that I made. So anybody's thinking about solar, just ask questions. Ask.
What puts value into your home from the products that you guys offer? What brings up your value on your home the most, I guess I could say?
It's a little kind of hard to justify which one exactly brings the most value. Windows do have a very high return. They also do come with a double lifetime warranty. So if you did decide to sell the house, there's a transferable warranty, which can get you a little bit more money on the appraisal. If you do a heating and air system, you can get a better return, if you sell that house within the transferable warranty. Same thing with the text code. There's a transferable warranty. But if you had to say, which product do I do? I'm going to sell my house in 60 days. Which one's going to give you the biggest?
Curb appeal, huh?
Yeah, it's hard to justify from house to house. Do you have single pane windows? How's your paint? Because even if you had like single pane windows, but your house was like cracking, peeling, like people are probably going to notice the paint before they notice the windows.
Yeah.
So for each individual home, the products that we do aren't necessarily designed for someone to want to sell their house right away, because amongst the products, you're going to be saving, a pretty good amount of energy. If you wanted to sell your house in 60 days, I'm going to be very honest with you. You can go a different route. Maybe like a possibly cheaper window, because you're not going to have to worry about replacing it in 3 to 5 years. The next guy will. But that's, what we're there to do. Sometimes I'll go to appointments to where it's scheduled for a certain product, and then I've noticed that there's another product that needs a little bit more attention than the other one, and they had no idea.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, every home's a little bit different. I don't have a direct answer for that.
That's a good answer though.
So now, are you walking the home? Are you like, hey, do you mind if I walk around and just kind of take a look, or is it just like on the corner of your eye you notice that?
Well, when I'm walking up to the house, I'll kind of see what's going on up front, especially I'm looking at the product that they're most likely interested in.
Oh, okay.
But no, we're all going to do a walk around the house together.
Oh, nice. Okay, see, nice. There you go. That's what I was talking about.
Not every homeowner walks their property. Certainly not every day. But there will probably be areas that you didn't know is deteriorating or having issues. That's as far as like the exterior of the text coat. It could happen with roofing. Where we see a lot of areas that have lack of attention are windows. I can go to majority of homes and find black mold on windows.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and it's usually, like, say, behind a curtain, or blinds, or a room that you don't use that often. Sometimes even in showers and bathrooms because of all the steam. That's one of the biggest eye openers for homeowners, because maybe they were just kind of like on the fence. I kind of want to do windows, but kind of really don't. Oh, you have mold in every single one of your windows. That's the
Oh, damn.
that's the kicker.
Damn. I like that.
So to do it justice for the homeowners, we're all going to go. Me, the wife, and the husband. We're all going to take a look, because, especially like in my household, my wife isn't going to necessarily look at the stucco like I'm going to look at the stucco, and vice versa. She's going to look at things on the interior that I'm not necessarily looking at every single day.
That's so true.
So we all kind of learn together.
I like that. I mean, a walk around is, I think that's big in any selling point, because that's the first thing that we did at Red Bull. Is you walk the store. Hey, what's the empty spot? Like, hey, dude, you have your Arizona tanky, your Arizona, iced teas aren't full. Like, hey, let me take care of that spot. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I'll be here every week to take care of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I like that walk around, man. You got anything else? Dude?
Yeah. The last thing I have is, what's next for Thomas? Is there an opportunity for your own business that you could do?
That's kind of in the making right now. Home improvement is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So there's no lack of money. There's abundance of money. And it may not be doing the exact products that I'm doing right now, but I do foresee owning something in the home service industry.
Awesome.
All right, cool. I think this is gonna wrap it up, but I only have one more thing. So Danny is currently in the market for a roof.
Okay.
So I want you to have a little mock, what would it be, an interview or a meetup with a customer? I want to see how you work, man. I really do. Just like generally, like, what are the questions that you're asking for? This dude put in a little questionnaire saying he's looking for a roof.
Yeah, so I reached out. I guess I reached out online, and you got the phone call, and you're now calling me, I guess. Yeah, so.
So what has you thinking about doing a new roof?
I know it's time for a new roof. I look on my roof, and I could tell I see some shiny little particles. I know that the life of the roof is close to, 40, 50 years.
You can guesstimate it's 40, 50 years old just from the particles?
I'm just guessing.
Okay, no worries. How long have you noticed this?
I knew, actually, if we go back, I knew prior to buying this house that I needed a roof. So I bought the house knowing that I needed a roof. And then my brother-in-law and father-in-law worked in roofing. So they were like, yeah, you're going to need a roof. So that's how I know I need a roof.
What did the inspection say?
That I needed a roof.
You could have just started with that.
I could have, right? Yeah.
And how long ago did you buy the house?
6 years?
Holy
6
shit.
to 8 years.
6 to 8 years, yeah, something like that.
What has kept you from getting a roof this far?
I thought I was probably going to just find somebody that could do it not under the table, but like I know people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, maybe they'll help me out, and I'll buy the product and I'll pay them. I think that was the first step. But there's one thing that I realized is that I don't think my house has not shingles, plywood.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. That's what stopped me. And then also you like you mentioned earlier, we don't know how to buy a roof.
Yeah.
So that's the other obstacle.
So what held you back from speaking to some of the people that you know in the roofing industry?
I don't know what's kept me. I think I haven't seen a problem just yet until like recently. And that's when it started. That's when I started I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a problem. I think I have to get this done now. This is a need now, not a want.
So on a side note, this is where you find the pain.
Okay. Oh,
there's my pain. See?
Holy fuck.
Okay. Well, from then, it's something that you've been thinking about. We would schedule an appointment for me to come out and walk the property to see if it's something that we could even help with. From there, that's kind of how the phone call would go. I'm just kind of getting a feel for, what his needs are. We are a licensed, bonded contractor. I'll be very transparent with people. If you had a cousin that did it, more than likely your cousin will be cheaper. I'll tell you that very, very upfront. And if you're telling me, I got someone that could do it for $1,500, there's no need for me to come out. But that's kind of the initial phone call when someone who dials in. I'm going to ask you probably how you found us. If it was an ad, I'm going to ask you if there was anything about the ad that you liked, or why'd you call us? Why did you send in a form? Was there something that you really liked? Sometimes there's people who say, excuse me, they looked at our reviews. Our reviews are very good. We do mention on some of our ads that we offer payment programs. Not everybody has $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 for upgrades on their home, so they need payments. I'm just kind of getting a feel of, hey, I want to know why you called us. But that's the initial call. Then I'll come out. We'll assess what you got. I could probably tell you with a flashlight if you got decking or not today.
Decking, is that the
Yes.
plywood?
Yeah.
So how would just quick question, how would you be able to lay the shingles without the deck?
So more than likely, if he doesn't have decking, he has cedar shake shingles underneath.
Oh.
Okay, so I was a little bit old school. 70s, 80s, and they kind of stopped doing it in about the mid 90s.
Okay.
So it's just literally planks of wood
Yeah.
on homes. You'll still see them here and there. It's just not that common.
Mm-hmm.
So when a homeowner can do roofing, there's kind of two ways they can do it. The cheaper way is instead of ripping everything off, they're just going to put a new layer of roofing on top.
I've seen that.
Okay. Not that it's a bad way of doing it. It's a more economical way. But after so long, your roof's going to get a lot of weight because now the moisture stain, and you still don't have a super amount of protection from moisture because you don't have any decking. If the shingles that you guys see on homes, not like the tile ones, the regular shingles, those aren't waterproof.
Oh, that's why they overlap one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so it comes down. Holy
Those are
shit.
to protect your home, but they are not waterproof. It's what's underneath it makes it waterproof.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so hopefully if someone has a cedar shake shingle roof, they have some type of barrier between the next shingle, whether it be tar paper or some type of other underlayment, and then they'll put a roof on top of it.
Okay.
Just a little bit more economical and considered to replacing the entire roof because you have to rip off all the old shingles, which is the same amount of labor. But the decking, how many sheets of wood do you got to put on? That's a pretty good material cost, and probably a pretty good labor amount as well.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
But yeah, we would assess it, measure it out, and then give you an estimate on it. Show you all the different options of what you could qualify for.
Cool. That's a nice little
That's
rundown.
pretty neat, yeah.
And like when we had our consultation for your solar, that was a shortened version of a full one.
No way, dude.
Oh yeah. I was at your house for maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you did everything. I just felt like, hey, you were comfortable and you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? You explained that so well. Where I was able to explain everything so well to my parents. You know what I mean? And they were still on the edge.
Because we have a trust.
Okay. I guess you're right.
Okay.
I think half of that is trying to build or gain somebody's trust, right? When you're at their
I go
home.
into someone's house that I have never met, they've never met me, it takes time to build an ounce of trust. So, and for solar, I don't have to necessarily do a job walk. I think I looked at the backside of your house to make sure there was no like plumbing vents, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's a matter of trust. And, especially if I'm speaking with older homeowners, you got to talk a lot slower. You can't go as fast. And sometimes, even when I'm talking slow, I'll have to elaborate or go into more detail of what I'm referring to. Like try explaining a true up to a 75-year-old person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
That's so true. Got me. I had no idea what a true up bill. Well, I mean, if you don't have solar, you have no idea what a true up bill is. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it was hard to wrap my head around. Oh, hey, you're gonna get a $2,000 bill, and I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like, the solar's paying for it. What the hell's a true up bill? So, I guess I do understand what you mean at the end of the day when it comes to gaining that trust and, you know, being able to build off of it. You know,
Trust is probably the biggest when it comes to trying to help out someone. I'll give you an example. Most recently, a lady saw an ad. She wanted an estimate on getting some text coat. Not in a good mood when I got there. And she was very kind of arm crossed, you know, well, go ahead, look around the house. She wouldn't come look with me. Luckily, she'd already walked the property with someone else, so she already knew the areas of that needed some TLC. So kind of just, you know, maybe crack a joke or try to get her to get just at least relax a little bit. It's probably about an hour in, and I give her the price and I go over options, and you can kind of tell she's starting to relax a little bit more. And after going over the options and making sure that it was a good fit, she goes, all right, let's do it. I said, okay, cool. And so once we got everything qualified, I started writing up the work order. And she says, you know, your price is much higher than the last guy. But the last guy wasn't offering text coat. It was just regular paint. She goes, but the last guy I knew was trying to do me dirty. He was just very shady. He didn't, this lady was 81 years old.
oh wow,
So you have to take your time. The guy was trying to rush her. He goes, oh, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know those statistics or whatever. And she just felt that it wasn't right. And you just got to take your time and kind of show them. You know, when I was explaining to you, don't crank your AC down. You know, another person's probably not going to tell you that.
yeah,
You know, because that's a phone call that you're going to give me in a year.
yeah,
Thomas,
yeah.
what is
What's
what
a true
did you
bill?
do? What did you do? So it's a matter of trust. Sometimes I can show you the options in 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 2 hours with someone else. And sometimes the trust isn't there.
Yeah, but sometimes those extra hour or 2 hours makes a difference on getting that yes, you know? So it's like, hey, you have to invest. I mean, and plus once you see that, you know, the little check, dude, I'm glad I stayed those 2 hours, or you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely awesome, man. Oh, no way. Holy shit.
Ed's watching the
Sorry.
game.
Anyways, so, okay. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for coming, man. I really do appreciate it. Hey, this is your time. Do you got anything? Do you want to plug in any your website, social media?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions about doing some home improvement upgrades, you can hit me on IG. I believe it's Improvements559.
I believe that's what it is, yeah.
Let me double check.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Improvements559. If you're looking to get free estimate, some work done on the house, or maybe if you're even looking for employment and want to kind of dip into the sales industry.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Shoot me a DM and we could talk.
All right, cool. Now, you were talking about the website. Can they find that website on the IG too?
Yeah, there's a link on the
On your bio?
bio.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Everyone. Thomas, thank you again for having us. Thank you for coming. Danny, you want to close it up?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much as well. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and your family's time for being here with us to do this. Remember guys, follow along. If you have any questions, DM us. And yeah.
Bye.